what's up everyone? My name is Emily and welcome back to my channel. I gotta be honest with you, when I made my last AI video, I didn't think I would be making another one quite this fast. I mean, it just seems like it has taken over every single aspect of the world right now. It seems to be the only thing that anyone can talk about. We have the writers' strike going on right now, and part of that has to do with AI. We have ChatGPT, and now this. So I was doom scrolling yesterday night on TikTok, like I do, and I came across this video.
The new covers of the UK paperbacks of House of Earth and Blood generated by AI art. Party Wings also shared a short clip showing what happens when you overlay the Adobe stock image with the new cover art.
I'm gonna link the original creator in the description of both this video and the Instagram that is being referenced, the user who made the graphics for this. Now, to be clear, this is all speculation. I'm not accusing anyone of doing anything. We don't know for sure, okay? We're just looking at what we know, okay? I'm not here to call anyone out. I'm not blaming anybody, but it's a little bit peculiar, right? Like, that image on the cover of Sarah J. Maas's book, that looks exactly like those two images are exactly the same, other than the colors. So here's why everything with AI is a little bit tricky, is that we don't have any laws or regulation or legislation about AI and like what you can do with them. There's no copyright on them, and it's really difficult to regulate how this art is being used. I just want to make it clear, like, no one technically speaking did anything illegal. Bloomsbury using this image from Adobe stock was not illegal. This person creating this image from AI, if that is what they did, and using potentially another author's style or work to create that image was not illegal, okay? And that is where things get muddy, because legally, all of this was okay. It's a question of ethics and what we find ethical, especially coming from a publishing house that is so big with an author that is so well known. So the tricky part comes in where on the Adobe stock website of this image of the wolf that they used for the cover of Sarah J. Maas's book, technically speaking, if you're going to upload something onto Adobe stock that was created using AI, you are supposed to disclose that. But it's not like they have any way of regulating whether or not something is AI. So this person who uploaded the image, I don't think we know who it is exactly, did not disclose that, if that is in fact what they did. Now, there are some indications of this art that it is created by AI, and Instagram profile Artie Wings, who is the person who made the story revealing all of this, that I will have linked below, also created the images that I'm using in my video. They kind of pointed out the different ways that kind of indicate that this is created by AI, and that has to do with, you know, you look at it from a distance and it looks really great, but the closer you look at the image, things kind of like get muddy and blurry, and they don't really have any human logic to the way that they're created. The images overlap weird, the details blur in a very weird way. So there's just some hallmarks there that like show that it was potentially computer made. And they go a little bit more in depth into it. But yeah, when you look at it, you know, you kind of, if you look really close at the image, you can really see that it definitely doesn't look like something a human made. Now, I am not someone who like reads a lot of Sarah J. Maas, and I don't necessarily like promote her work due to many reasons. But I do think it's important to note a few things here before people just want to like get on the hate train. But with this, like Sarah J. Maas has openly stated that she's against using AI for her work. So if you were to have anything that was licensed by Sarah J. Maas or like her company, it's not going to be AI. Like she has a no AI license in her everything. Like she's been outspoken against AI artwork, largely due to legal reasons, because as I said, it's really hard to copyright this AI work, but also it is stealing from artists, because AI cannot create something that does not exist. It has to take it from somewhere. So whether it is the style of the art that's being used or the image itself, like these aren't just like coming out of thin air where the AI is painting a picture. It is taking information and graphics from other art and turning it into something new while using those components without giving credit to the actual artist. But I think something to remember though is that like authors, when they are being traditionally published, have little to no control over the cover. Like rarely, if ever, do they have any input in the design or how it is made. So it is likely that Sarah J. Maas may not even approve of what they did with the cover of her book, but that like she probably had no control over this. And it's also important to note that in this situation, Bloomsbury, the publisher, technically can't also be to blame because what they did wasn't illegal. Like they did everything correct. It's just like a little bit sketchy because when you're working with a book that is from an author this popular, you have a team of designers working on this, you know, that are marketing it, that are creating these designs. And so you're telling me that no one brought up these red flags about it, or that they didn't just hire an illustrator to make a new cover? Like, that's what I don't understand. And I don't want to like imply anything because like I don't know. I just think it's very interesting. And I think it's interesting that they used it for one of Sarah J. Maas's books, seeing how popular she is, because this is something that's going to be noticed versus, I don't know, from a debut or a smaller author where maybe this might get overlooked. It's very interesting that they chose to do it with a book that would be this popular. Maybe because it's not the first cover design for the paperback, like they thought maybe people wouldn't care or notice, but obviously they are noticing. The other trouble that this kind of gets into is that because this art is available on Adobe Stock and the way that it all, like the AI works and everything, like other people can buy this same exact art and, you know, do a little editing and then they get to use it. So like this cover isn't going to be strictly unique to this book because if someone else wanted to buy this art, they could do that completely legally and use it for whatever they want. So I think it's a really interesting tactic and a very interesting way to go about this. So to me, it doesn't even like really make sense from that standpoint at all either. When you look at the cover of the book, the copyright for the illustration even says Adobe Stock. It doesn't say like an illustrator or a name of anyone. It just says Adobe Stock. So I just think the whole situation is, I don't know how to feel about it because legally, obviously, this is all fine, but it's just interesting to me. And as I was kind of looking up stuff for this video, I was looking up, you know, AI art, book cover design to see if like any other popular books had been kind of outed for doing this or anything. And I couldn't find anything, but you know what I did find? I did find many, many websites that were like promoting for authors, particularly indie authors, to use AI to create their cover designs. Now, I don't know where you guys stand morally on this. For me, I'm not really for that. I understand the need to make illustrating and cover designs accessible to people who maybe don't have the funds to make an amazing cover, but I just don't think AI right now is the way to go about it, especially with the legal issues, the copyright issues, and the fact that they're stealing from artists. Like, but I feel like it's even worse that it's like a big publishing house. If they did do this, I think it's even worse because they have the money to hire someone. They have the money to hire an artist to create work for them, to create a cover for them. And I can't believe that they wouldn't do that. I mean, actually, no, I can believe that they wouldn't do that, but it like hurts me to know that. And this, I think, goes into like the fact that I think that as things progress and as AI becomes more intelligent and more widely used, I think it just goes to show how little we really care about artists when it comes to making money. We don't really care about the people who are creating the art if we can get it done faster, cheaper, for free, you know, stuff like that. It's just really sad. And I think, you know, I think this is just going to become more common. I think we're going to see this happen more often as, you know, just as things grow and the industry changes. I just feel like this is the future that we're heading towards. And I think if you want to support artists and you care about that, then we will just have to be very vigilant about being outspoken about publishing houses or people who are using AI art or, you know, AI in ways that are stealing work from artists and everything. And I didn't go into this too much in my writing video, but like I'm always someone who's like, my thoughts are subject to change as I learn more. And as of right now, I still don't think AI is capable of replacing authors in terms of writing books. But like if it ever came down to it, I would hope that people would support the actual people creating the art versus the AI who is trying to replicate and steal style and words and everything from artists. So I do think it's important to be outspoken and to speak up when you see something. And if it turns out that this is the case and that they did use AI generated art for a book that's going to sell this well, and if they did it because it's going to be cheaper for them, I just really think we should speak up about it. I think as consumers, we need to continue to be mindful about who we're buying from and what we're buying. AI isn't going to go away. I feel like we're talking about it more and more every single day, and it's just going to keep improving. And I think that there is a real concern and fear in the art community about this, and I think it's valid. So if you want to support artists and people who are creating the things that you love, it's really important to be mindful and to do your research and to make sure that who you're buying from is legit. There are people who create AI art, within minutes and upload it on Adobe Stock for people to buy, and that art is not created naturally. Like that art is being taken from other people's work. And as I said before, there are no laws regarding AI or any of this that protects anyone. So anything you post online can be used by AI to create something like that. And I think until there are laws safeguarding artists, it's going to be really hard to support people doing that, for me at least. I still stand by what I said before. I feel like AI could be a great tool for authors and artists when used properly, but in terms of it trying to replace artists and devalue their work to something that just a computer could do, I think that that's really wrong. I don't think that it can truly replicate and replace what humans are able to do. Because if you think about it, even like with this cover, someone probably created that wolf image to some extent. And that wolf, or the texture, the style, the design was taken by the AI and regenerated and edited to look a little bit different. But now the creator who made that wolf in the first place isn't being credited for their art that is now going to be sold probably thousands of times. And they're not going to get paid for the work that they created. And morally, I can't stand by that. That makes me so sad. But that's the reality that we're in right now. I thought this was all just really incredibly interesting. I would love to know your thoughts on this situation down below. I think that this is, again, going to be an ongoing, continuing conversation. I don't think it's going away anytime soon. I think that it's something that we just need to all be mindful of as creators and consumers of art and books and, everything. We're a community. We need to support each other and look out for each other. So comment down below your thoughts on this. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of my writing and bookish content, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.